Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another video. So, today we have some big news coming out of Fan Expo Canada. It's always a great day when we have tidbits for the Mandoverse, Ahsoka, and even Han Solo. This is going to be a fun one, I guarantee it. And stay tuned because the big segment of today's video in the second half after the news is yet another theory about the direction of Ahsoka Season 2. And one wild theory that is absolutely going to blow your mind, that Anakin in episodes 4 and 5 was not everything he seemed. But before we dive into it, my dear friends, just a quick second, please be sure to hit the big subscribe button down below, ring the bell for notifications, thank you so much, on with the news. Kestis actor Cameron Monaghan just revealed he originally auditioned to play Han Solo in the 2018 spin-off movie Solo: A Star Wars Story. We might have gotten Cameron instead of Alden, but I'm really glad he didn't, because if he'd have taken the role we never would have gotten Kestis, who is an amazing video game character in the Jedi series of games. I really can't wait for the third installment, and you know, with Skeleton Crew coming up this December, I've seen some speculation. What if he appears in that show as an older Jedi? What if he is someone who knows the Force user being played by Jude Law? Now that would certainly be a twist for the Mandoverse, potentially with some implications for the Dave Filoni movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu by Jon Favreau, and Ahsoka Season 2. But like I say, I'm just really happy we got Kestis, and Cameron didn't play Solo. I just can't imagine it. I think Alden Ehrenreich did a pretty good job, but I don't think you can ever replace Harrison Ford. But while we're on the subject of Skeleton Crew, a new development has emerged that kind of changes our understanding of a key character in this series. One of the children is Neel, a young blue alien that up until this point, we've assumed, is an Ortolan, the species of Max Rebo. Granted, many viewers of the trailer have been casting doubt over whether he is fully Ortolan, because there are a few differences compared to known members of the species, and now it seems confirmed by Lucasfilm themselves that Neel is something else. Lucasfilm database expert Leland Chi recently put out a post outlining the different elephantine alien species we know about in Star Wars canon and the expanded universe, even citing the Ewoks animated show. So let's take a look. You have Ortolans like Max Rebo, Trud and Bothell from the Ewok series, and if you take a close look, they have rodent tails. Then there's Pasithip from the Cantina, there are a few others, and then we come to Neel's species, and you can tell from the hair on his head and a few other differences in the face, he's not entirely identical to the species Ortolan, but there is one he kind of closely resembles, and if there were any species on this list he would be, I would say it's this. The Andrevan species from Young Jedi Adventures. They have very similar ear flaps and smaller trunks. It's not identical, and of course, the animated format of Young Jedi Adventures makes it difficult to compare, but Andravans and Neel species are pretty close. Do you think there's a chance Neel species and the Andrevan species have some overlap? Maybe Neel species is an offshoot, or perhaps Neel is a crossbreed between Ortolans and Andravans. I do get quite obsessed with alien species within Star Wars. I love Star Wars lore, and I love studying the various differences and the way Lucasfilm adapts them for recent projects. I'm curious if they ever confirm what Neel is. He might be a new species altogether, but I guess, my dear friends, something I didn't realise is how many elephantine species there are. Even Aki from episode 9 are very elephant-like, so I suppose when we were saying Neel is an Ortolan, it wasn't entirely true. What do you guys think? Another big reveal from Fan Expo Canada, Rosario Dawson spoke about the future of Ahsoka and Season 2. When asked if there's anything she specifically wants to see when the second season goes into production, it's more expressiveness from Ahsoka. In fact, she says she wants to see more levity and lightness. This comes after criticisms that in the first season, as fun as it was, she was too stoic. The meme was that she spent too much time crossing her arms, and now she says going forward in Season 2, she wants to, quote, give her a couple more smiles. But this is something I admittedly find most peculiar because, while she's talking about levity, most fans expected the opposite in the second season. I think she's talking about within herself, being more comfortable, coming to terms with her past, which was the entire point of the World Between Worlds episode with Anakin. But she's certainly got more challenges ahead, and the assumption has been, with her looking for Baylan, it's about to get more intense. And tying into all of this, I came across a wild, crazy theory I want to share with you. I'm certainly not one to shy away from insane, wild speculation, and this theory is just so crazy I don't even believe it myself. But if there were to be a twist that Dave Filoni wanted to throw in, I think there are some good indicators this might be it. The theory states that in the first season, in the 5th episode, that wasn't really Anakin Ahsoka was talking to and fighting in the world between worlds, but Anakin's Force ghost on Peridea in the final episode was. Instead, something or someone was impersonating Ahsoka's former master to test her, and in the process, she did learn a lesson. She did overcome her past, but that is a byproduct of what the Dark Entity was trying to do. It could have been Abeloth, or whatever is calling to Baylan, trapped in the world between worlds. We know there's a connection to Mortis and Peridea, so it's not too far-fetched. And the reason this theory came up is that when fans were doing a rewatch of the first season, they noticed Anakin's Force ghost not only acted very strange and behaved oddly for a Force spirit, but was also contrary to the lore that George Lucas set up. Force spirits don't have this kind of binary light and dark side. We know Vader is always going to be a part of Anakin, but George Lucas once made it very clear that when Anakin became a Force ghost, he was entirely light side again. He was redeemed. There was no darkness left in him. But Dave Filoni changed this, and while it could be a part of the new canon, there is also a chance whatever Ahsoka was talking to wasn't really Anakin. Now you might be thinking there is nothing binary about Anakin's Force ghost. His Vader persona that he put on for Ahsoka was just a test. Well, Hayden Christensen and Dave Filoni disagree. They said Vader is a part of the Force ghost. You can never separate that darkness from Anakin. He just learned to live with it, in peace. He said, quote, "He's aware of all those things, and he's a very emotional character, but not beholden to those things." After all the mistakes he made in his life, all the horrible things he did as Darth Vader, Anakin and Ahsoka had so much they had to talk about, but their interaction lacked any kind of apology, and they barely acknowledged what happened between them. Not only this, but Anakin threw Ahsoka into her trial by fire, her final lesson. Force ghosts in the Star Wars universe are admittedly very mysterious, and we're still learning more about them. It's very possible, like I say, it was really Anakin's Force ghost, and he was trying to get Ahsoka to overcome her past, to choose life. But imagine a scenario instead, the mother of the gods of Mortis was trying to see if Ahsoka could become corrupted and defeated, a different kind of test from which Ahsoka prevailed. And considering the concept of the world between worlds is very much still a mystery, and Filoni hasn't answered all of our questions, it's possible Abeloth is trapped within it, and Peridea is the only place she can exit the world between worlds, and that's why she's now calling to Baylan. And this could explain why the Force ghost appearance of Anakin at the end of episode 8, his true Force ghost, was slightly different to his apparition in episode 5. It's a wild theory I absolutely love. I don't think it's true, I don't think that's the direction, but in my recent video where we tried to connect the concepts of Peridea to the Mortis Gods, this is certainly one possibility, and explains Anakin's strange, erratic behaviour post-death, at a time where he's supposed to be one with the Force, as a light side Force spirit. I'm thinking Abeloth needs a host, a vessel to come to life, to escape. What do you guys think? Is this so far-fetched? Is it absolutely insane? Or has Dave Filoni set up a genius connection? Let me know your thoughts on everything we spoke about in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and may the Force be with you, always.